All right, everybody. Welcome to the Bustin, Beaks and Chasing Tails podcast. We're coming to you again, and we have a special guest here this evening. On the heels of the NWTF convention, we have Travis Hamm. How you doing, Travis?
I'm doing pretty good, guys. How about y'all?
Doing good, thanks.
Doing good. We wanted to get Travis on here again, just on the after the convention. He was in the several calling competitions down at the NWTF, and he is also on the Mossy Oak Pro staff with me as well. He is a call designer with Primos, and he's also a hunting guide. So Travis, you want to talk a little bit about all the things you're involved in there, buddy?
Yes, sir. I'll be more than happy to. I'm like you just said, I'm also a call designer for Primos Hunting Calls, pro staff of Mossy Oak, and pro staff with Real South Hunting. So those are my three main sponsors. But I've been in the calling industry for about going on 7 years this year. But in total, I've been in the hunting industry for 8 years because I used to work for another hunting company. So I've been pretty much even out of high school, I've been working in the hunting industry. And I'm a hunting guide for Magnolia Outdoors Outfitters. I'm their turkey hunting guide. So I manage and do all the turkey hunts.
That's awesome, man. And you mentioned, you've been calling competitively for 7 years now. It's pretty impressive. And I know for anybody that hasn't heard Travis call, I know on his page, he does, you come on a lot with your calls and things and do little sound profiles and things. But if you've never heard Travis call competitively, I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. I mean, the stuff he can do with a mouth call is it's unreal. I mean, you hear guys in the woods, if you've ever hunted public or anything, and you hear them, and you can tell it's a person. Travis is all turkey, man. I mean, it is just unreal how good of a caller this guy is. And I know you finished third runner up in the gobbler division down at the NWTF this past weekend. And then what else did you compete in down there, Travis?
I've competed in team air and friction with my partner Stanley Williams with Black Lightning Custom Calls, and I was in Senior Open and also the Owl division. And in the Senior Open, I was only 2 points away from making the cut with the top 13. Oh. I was really close.
Oh wow, that's yeah. I mean, and again, it's tough. I don't. If you guys have ever been on the NWTF, any of their social media or YouTube or anything, they do air those. And I mean, these guys, it is super competitive. I mean, it's the best callers in the country. So just even being that group of guys just really says something to your calling abilities. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. It was some of these guys we go against. I mean, these are some of the best turkey callers that ever walk this country right now. I'll tell you who we call the king. He's also now your 7-time Grand National Senior Open call competitor champion, as you can say, Matt Van Sice. He is probably one of the best turkey callers to ever walk this earth. And he pretty much any contest he walks in, he comes out with first every time. He's called what you call the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I mean, he's one of the best.
I agree. And I got to sit in the room and witness him call in the friction, and then a little bit in the senior. I didn't get to watch the finals of it, but I mean, there's no doubt about it. When he steps up on the stage, everybody pays attention because that guy is good. But
just trying to figure out who's going to come in second, right?
Dave Owens actually came in second with the Penhody. He did.
Yeah,
he was your Grand National champion last year, wasn't he?
No, Matt Van Sice took it 2 years.
Really? Okay.
7 years in a row. Yeah. That fella is something else. I know he had a little bit didn't finish quite the way he wanted to in the friction competition. And I was sitting there with a couple of the guys that were in the preliminaries, and they're like, oh man, that field in the in the senior open is due for it, because he's probably going to put a run together like like you haven't seen before, and apparently he did.
Yes, he's unbelievable. Now, Dave Owens, I'll tell you, Dave, if nobody's actually, I mean, I know a lot of people watch his videos on the Pinhoti Project, and it's as real. That's real as real hunting can get, but I will say his calling outside of the hunting woods, if you turn around, close your eyes, and just listen to his soft stuff, you would swear up and down it's a turkey. But it's Dave Owens. I was able to predict that myself. I've had people turn around and listen. They would think, and I took hunting when I was out there blowing a call, doing soft stuff. They said, "Is there a turkey behind me?" And they looked at me. I was like, "No, that was me." I mean, it's just perfected trying to be as turkey as possible. It's not just me being a competition call. Yes, I love it with a passion. I mean, I enjoy it. I live for it. But when I go in the woods as a turkey, when I go turkey hunting, I don't want to just go in there as a turkey hunter. I want to be in there. I want to go in there as a turkey. I want to be the turkey. I want to be as realistic as real can be. I don't want that turkey. I want that turkey to hear it's been pressured by other callers, and they're calling other hunters calling. They can kind of figure out, that's a caller and not a caller. And that's when I try to bring in realism to sound more like a turkey than a turkey caller. That's how I predict to sound more turkey, to have better success in the woods.
And again, guy, and we're talking about these couple other guys, but I'm telling you right now, there's a reason that Travis is up there with the rest of them, because I mean, again, with that mouth call, he is all turkey. I know several of them guys say it, and you can pick out somebody just randomly calling in the woods. This guy here, you would be 100% convinced he was a turkey. And you'd be going and trying to search him out to shoot him. So I hit, buddy, you're one of the best out there. There's no doubt about it. Well, I want to get into just a little bit too, just because I mean, I know myself, I've been learning and trying to really, get better and more pronounced again as a turkey with a mouth call, and just kind of go over just maybe some tips and tricks, or just some common mistakes that you see people making. You're around it every day. You design the calls. So, I mean, what are some tips you could give these guys out here, or just some common mistakes that people should avoid?
When it comes to call building, just, from a personal self too, when I'm trying to get prepared for, when I go in the woods to hunt or on a competition stage, and we're talking about call building, right? Okay.
Yes.
Call, there's these are mainly for the newcomers, that's coming up into the call building. I saw a man that posted on Facebook the other day. He's new to building turkey calls, and he needed all the best advice. I gave him the best advice I could get him. Where a lot of people mix up, in call building, because you got your thicknesses in latex, and then you got your prophylactic and what we call condoms, rubber condoms, or just prophylactic, period. Putting too thick of a latex, like, 4,000s with 3,000s latex on the bottom, and have a really loose stretch, you might come out sounding more rubbery. Or you got, people that's running, they might build a call 4,000s with prof and might run up to 180 stretch or whatever, and it's just too high pitch, and then you got some of them that, like I said, is learning. One of my biggest mistakes, when I first got into call building, was back tension, pulling back tension behind putting back tension in. I was just learning into it. My boss here at Primo's Hunting, he showed me what I was doing wrong, and he showed me to put back tension in it. And that's where a lot of hunters, they don't call builder, when you pull the back tension, get the wrinkles out, because, a lot of wrinkles in there, it can make it too hard to blow, or it's pretty much, make it hard to blow. And then later on down the line, when you've been using that call over and over and over again, it starts wearing out, and just makes it really impossible to blow. Me personally, I'm not going to tell y'all exactly what I run, but a lot of the calls I'll run like it's in between, just depends, like on the stage during the hunt, and I'll run anything from maybe like a 145 to a 190 round in there, just depends. But the back tension, I always be sure that I pull back tension where it's always where you'll almost see like the latex is smiling at you when you're pulling at, barely smiling at you. And depends on cuts too. Everybody has their own specific cut. They like to run a bat wing. They like to run a V cut. They like to run a combo cut or ghost cut. I mean, there's so many new cuts out there I've seen. And this year, I ain't never even thought of in my life. I don't even know what the name of these cuts are, but each cut has their purpose, for certain things. Me, I'll just be honest with y'all. I'm more of a bat wing person. I'll run a bat wing. I'll run a combo cutter. Those two are my top favorite ones. I do run the most. And the reason I run a bat wing, because I can get it really versatile with it. I can do any kind of turkey vocabulary with it. I can do anything. I know where y'all from. We have a commercial. It's called Morgan Lawsuit. The commercial said, one call, that's all. Well, that's what I say with this call. One call, that's all. That call I build for the woods, I can run anything on it from a cluck and purr, plain hen yelp, cutting beside hen, yelp beside hen, a jake yelp. I mean, I can keep key on it. I mean, that's what I like to do. I always like to build a call that I can just dang near do anything with, and that just comes with time and practice with building the calls and knowing how to blow the calls. A lot of people make mistakes, like I said, is they don't have the tension right, they don't put enough back tension in it, or they're using the wrong latex. Because it took me exactly 3 years to be able to perfect what we call in the turkey calling world the perfect call. So, and there's a lot of people, and that's what Preston Pittman told me when I told Preston Pittman I was getting into it. He told me the best. He said, just be prepared. You fixing to be spending a couple thousands of dollars to be able to perfect that perfect call. He said it took me exactly 2 years to be able to build that right call.
Well, and Travis, because I want to talk about this a little bit too, because again, me being fairly new to mouth calls and everything else. I mean, I came up turkey hunting with my grandpa, and the only thing he ever carried was a box call. And I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. That man killed as many turkeys as anybody around here, without a doubt, with that box call. And you can do it. But a mouth call is can be very important, especially when motion, of course, of turkey's eyesight, as far as still making some calls, that soft calling to get them to, kind of break away and come in, and you don't have, and there's no motion to it. So I've kind of been, making a point to try to learn it. But again, as far as a novice caller with a mouth call, those cuts that you're talking about is depending on the air that is, coming out of your mouth over those reeds and which side. And I actually just discovered, that I have the air coming off the left side of my mouth, which, is either a sort of a bat wing or a reversed combo cut, because most of the combo cuts are on the right side of the call coming out. And I actually make a better turkey sound with either the bat wing or what they refer to as, or you may have a different term, but the reverse combo cut.
You got it right.
Just kind of talk about that a little bit as far as actual calling is concerned, because the one thing I did notice as well, that back tension that you were talking about on building those calls. I've got several calls after I've called on them for, a portion of the season or whatever. I saw that ripple that you were talking about. And I'm like, man, what is going on? I was getting discouraged because I wasn't making the turkey sounds that I was making before with those calls. And I took it out and I saw that ripple on the back side of that call. And that would be that back tension that you were referring to, I believe, right?
That is correct, actually, because you know with that ripple right there on the top reed, when you say a little ripple, yes, that can do an effect, make it a little bit harder to blow. Right, that's where the back tension comes in. I mean, if you pull too much, it might make the call squeal be too high pitched, just enough where you can take the wrinkles out, so you won't have to worry about the wrinkles in the future. Right.
And again, just talk about, because this is something I just discovered, and somebody might need to get with someone like you, or someone who is versed in these mouth calls, because depending on when you're trying to call out of one of these mouth calls, depending on where that air is coming out, you might need a different cut or a different tension, or something like that. And a guy like yourself with an ear for it is going to be able to tell and determine what type of cut that person's going to need, right?
That is actually correct. I mean, everybody's different, like you said. Me, I like to blow on the right side of my mouth. So, I put an angle on my bat wing just because how my airflow is. Everybody blows a turkey call differently. So, I mean, Matt Van Sice, he runs a reverse combo cut, and you can tell how his mouth is motion when you listen to him call, and you can see it. Jesse Martin, he calls a little bit to the right on his mouth. I mean, we all have our different ways of blowing a turkey call. I mean, heck, my own dad, I mean, he blows straight, so he's one of the very few I know that blows straight. And there's people, if you actually pay attention, the ones of the turkey callers, like they're doing, like, for an example, the Kiki run. I've seen a lot of the callers, they'll have their cut way to the left. I'm talking about where it's dang near touching the frame. I mean, it's crazy. Everybody has their own different ways of blowing turkey calls, and that's why in all these game call companies, especially with Primo's Hunting, we build so many variety of different calls, because because everybody blows a different call, because I mean that's why we build all these different variety of calls, because everybody blows a call differently. So it fits every cut, every call, every style is fit for somebody.
How old were you when you started messing with this?
I actually started building calls. I started in 2017.
Okay. How old were you when you started? Just, I don't know if you were hunting with your dad or whatever. How old were you when you started running by mouth by yourself?
Started hunting by myself. I was 10 years old.
Really?
My goodness.
Yes, sir. I actually Mark, this year will make 21 years I've been turkey hunting. 21 seasons.
That's
I've
awesome.
been all my life, ever since my daddy took me out in the woods with him when I was 4 years old, deer and turkey hunting. I mean, I've been in it all my life. So, I mean, it's something, I mean, it's in my blood. I mean, it's not something that just, I fell in love with ever since I could remember. It's all I've ever known is hunting with my daddy, and I fell in love with it. When I was 8 years, I'll tell y'all a story. When I was 8 years old, well, 7, about to be 8 years old, because my birthday's March the 5th. I remember this like this was yesterday. I went up to my daddy at 7, and I said, "Daddy, I want to kill my first turkey." And he wasn't really sure if I was ready yet. But I said, "I want to kill my first turkey." So he went and bought me an H&R single shot 20 gauge. And he right off the bat, he didn't put no bird loads in it just to let me get comfortable. But he went right ahead and threw turkey loads in it, so I didn't know what to expect. Back in 2001. Now this has been a long time ago. And so back then I was shooting. I mean, if I remember correctly, I think it was Winchester's. It was an older bullet, Super X or Double X. It was old bullets. It's been a long time. And I put it right in, and the first shot, I missed the target completely. I mean, I was so nervous. I was more worried about the loudness than I was the kicking. And my shot said this wasn't that bad. And the second shot, I hit the target dead on, and Daddy said, "Son, you're ready." a couple of days later, right after my birthday, it was youth season, and my daddy he knew a spot where there was opening weekend of youth season in Mississippi. He took me out, and we heard 3 different gobblers. We went and set up. I'm gonna paint y'all a picture real quick. I'm in some hardwoods surrounded, and I'm in a 2-acre green ryegrass food plot. And there was a stump right there in the middle of the food plot. All right. Them turkeys were gobbling maybe about 80 yards west of me. And we set up, and then it got breaking, and then daylight was breaking. It was enough where we could start calling. Well, as soon as we start calling, them turkeys started hammering. Before you know it, they was hens. About 15 hens was all pitching down right in front of me. I was like, we were in the roost area, and I had no clue because I was learning, but they were in the roost area. They were just pitching in all right in front of me. And then all of a sudden, them longbeards pitched down, and they walked right into the field with the hens. And I remember lining up that bead on that turkey's head, and I pulled that trigger. And when I pulled that trigger and I saw that turkey flop, that changed my life forever that day. Because my own daddy said he'd never realized, being behind the gun at 8 years old would lead to something what I do right now for a living. He said that small things like that, you would never know what potential is for somebody if you don't do it with their kids, and he didn't realize that right there would lead to something bigger in life for me.
That's what it's all about right there, buddy. That's just absolutely awesome, man.
There started the passion.
And then we went back out the next day. I got another one.
Oh my goodness, back to back.
I skipped school them 2 days. My daddy let me skip school for those 2 days, go turkey hunting, and I got to kill 2 birds. So it was so well worth it, man.
That is absolutely awesome. Well, since we got into hunting here, Travis, let's go ahead and talk about your hunting season. I know we discussed this down in Nashville, but your season's getting ready to start off here real soon, isn't it?
Yes, sir. March the 15th. That will be on a Tuesday.
And you're headed to?
Sir?
Where are you headed?
Opening day. Well, opening for I'm actually next Thursday, I'm heading to South Florida to go hunt south of Okeechobee. We're going to hunt an Indian reservation, the Seminole Indian Reservation down there, to go try to kill my first birthday turkey. I've already got the Osceola, but I've never killed one on my birthday. So I said for my birthday, I want to kill a turkey. So I'm praying the good Lord will bless it, and I'll get to harvest a beautiful Osceola.
So you've already harvested an Osceola, though.
I've harvested 2 of them. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this. I've heard down in South Florida, it's just thick as the day is long. Is that true?
Well, where I hunted was central. I was maybe about an hour from the South Florida line, which I was still in the Osceola area. It was pretty thick. It was pretty wet where I was at, and a lot of water for sure. And it was thick. Yeah, it was, but I can't imagine what I'm supposed to be running into down there in South Florida for sure.
Well, since you brought up, again, you obviously travel, to hunt turkeys. So I know we've had, and if you follow Travis, he and that's what I kind of got hooked up with him this past year, because I started following him in the different states that you were hunting, because I'm doing a little research myself. But I know you hunt some public land when you go. You kind of mix it up. You do hunt some private and some outfitters and things like that, but you do hunt some public. And what I'm interested to know, and I know a lot of people would be, is how do you go about narrowing down this public land? Because as turkeys can be real hit and miss depending on where you are. What's that process like for you? And so when you go on these out-of-state hunts, you can be successful.
Well, what I do, if you don't have if anybody uses HuntX, I highly recommend to download HuntX and Onyx. I guess you can say Onyx. Yes, I use that and download it and look at the maps. You can purchase it. It's $100 a year to do, and you can pull up the map and you can buy all the maps for all 50 states. And what I do, the states I want to hunt on public land, I'll get on that state on my Onyx, and I'll look at all the WMAs or national forests that's around there, and I'll check out how many acres it is, what the elevation looks like. I'm just seeing how open or how thick, and because a lot of people that hunt public land, they're not going to give away spots. That's just not going to happen. You got to do everything on your own. So, and I look for water, because birds like to roost close to water, or if it's like flooded, if there's trees in the water, they'll roost over water. So I look for water, and I just look, like I said, I look at elevation. I just check all that out, and is there going to be a bird there for me? I don't know. So that's why you pretty much have to go scout. So what I'll leave, just depending on what state I go to, if it's out northwest or heading northeast. When I went northwest, when I went to Nebraska, I found some good bit of public land over there. And I literally didn't even I pulled up there, and I had no clue where I was going. I just saw on the map there was this WMA, a couple thousand acres, and I said, why not? And I looked at the map and I saw a big old hill. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go up to this hill. So I went up that big hill, and I just waited until the sun starts breaking. Birds started chirping. I said, this is a good starting point. Probably ain't gonna hear nothing, but this would be a good starting point. When daylight breaks, I can use this for a scouting day, and maybe I will get lucky the next day. Well, and then I'll mark where I walked, where I parked my vehicle, because that is a big thing. Because that's how a lot of hunters get lost, and that's why I duly trust the Onyx, because you can push where you walk, where you came in and out, so you won't get lost if you're hunting big, a lot of like hundreds of thousands of acres. Well, I got on that top of that hill, and luckily one gobble. I said, okay. I went to him, and he was pressured. You can tell. I mean, he's been messed with a lot. But what I did, I set up on him, and I did and I was able. He gobbled to me a good bit, and but he would not come to me. So I just did very just soft clucks and purrs, very softly, and just shut up for about maybe 10 minutes. And then I did a little soft hen yelping, just pretty much on just seeing what his mood is like. You can tell he was nervous because he's been hunted, he's been pressured. And I just listen to his gobble and just, in his mood, when he's nervous. So I'm trying to bring realism out, doing some soft clucking purrs, do some scratching if there's some leaves around, or just make some type of noise in the ground. Because where I was at, it's all cornfields. I was making some scratching noise in the dirt and the corn, and just bringing realism out. And he came right on in. I mean, he came in silently. But he came in about 30 yards, and I didn't have a decoy out or nothing. And he knew right then something was up, and it wasn't good. So he folded back them two back wings up, and I put that bead right on his head and blew him right over. And he ended up being a good, nice long beard. But my advice, where a lot of people mess up, is overcalling. A lot of these turkeys hear. They hear that, yep. They hear it all the time. There's a lot of folks out there do a lot of overcalling, and that's part of hunting public land. Then you got these people, when you that just, like you said, overcall, overhunt. I mean, and when you go on hunting public land, I try to look and see where I can see the less tire tracks, There ain't no tire track. I mean, yeah, you're gonna see tire tracks. You know, everywhere in public land's been hunted. I promise you. People said, "Oh, I ain't never been hunted." They lying to you. It is being hunted. Everybody's hunting somewhere.
Yeah, well, whether
And
it's
you know, I just try to look on the map, look for water, look for creeks.
You there, Travis?
Oh, did we cut out?
Are you there, Travis?
Well, let's give him a second, Nathan, to see if he comes back. There we go. I think he's back.
I lost you there for a minute, buddy.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
But as I was saying, I look for water, look for creeks, I look for scratching signs, and I try to avoid places where I see a lot of foot tracks and tire tracks. Even, yes, if it takes up a lot of traveling, if you got to travel long distances, walk long distances, I mean, that's the thing, being able to hunt public. If you're going to hunt public, you got to go places where people don't really normally want to go. That's just going to be the ticket of hunting public. I just got lucky and I walked about maybe 150 yards from a vehicle, and there was just a turkey right there.
Let me ask you this, Travis. Is that probably the biggest mistake people make, is overcalling?
Absolutely. Overcalling is the biggest mistake a lot of turkey hunters do out there. When they're turkey hunting, private or public, don't matter. It's just because you know when they overcall to that turkey, you know what that gobbler's thinking right there? Baby girl, if you want me that bad, you gonna come to me.
Yeah.
That, you know.
Yeah.
And then yes, you do enough calling to catch that gobbler's attention. You know, just enough, let them know, hey, I'm right here. And then you call, and then what I do, I call enough where that gobbler, I cut a little bit and get him excited. He cuts me off. I shut up, because in that gobbler's mind, he's waiting for her to talk to him some more. Because that's the gobbler's over here thinking, hey, why aren't you not talking to me no more? You sound like you're interested in me. Oh, you one of those type. Oh, I'm gonna come out then. And he comes on in. He's looking for that love. He's looking for that girl that was just talking really sweet and sexual to him. And he's looking for that, and that's the whole thing. He's curious, and he was into the girl that was, you know, cut him off, that was talking to him, talking so sweet to him. All of a sudden, you just be quiet, and it just makes him wonder: did I say something wrong? Did I do anything wrong, or are you just one of them quiet types? You know, that's how I look at it for people that don't understand how it works. Because, you know, when they overcall, that gobbler's expecting her to go to him. Yeah. And then if you let call, you get him curious, he's gonna come to you. So actually the best kind of calling is just no calling sometimes, you know, just scratch leaves. I mean, if you're gonna do call, just cluck and purrs, and, you know, just do one good yelp of excited hen at them. Just do a little bit of excitement and shut up. You know, that's all you have to do to get bring and scratch.
What would you do early season where they're henned up and they've got their ladies already? How do you call in birds like that? I lose you again?
Pretty much. You gotta call him. You know, that's the biggest, you know, that's one of the toughest things, you know, is a henned up gobbler. And what I do, if I can see them out in the field, or if I can just see them anywhere through my binoculars, or just anywhere, I hear them and I hear hens. If I hear hens, I'll start calling aggressively towards them, trying to challenge that hen. I've actually killed quite a few birds doing that. But don't overcall too much where you over dominate that hen. Let that hen over dominate you. And because when you get that hen mad enough and you over dominate her, she's wanting you to talk back to her. She is wanting that. She wants you to talk back, start messing. If you being quiet, and then when you're getting aggressive with her, you be quiet, and that hen's mind, she ever said, hey, where you at? hey, I was actually talking to you.
So you're just trying to piss off that lead hen, right? We lose him? Travis, you there? Well, maybe he's coming back. That's good information, though. I know, you like he was saying, I think you want to kind of piss off that lead hen so that she'll drag that gobbler to you when she. Oh, I think he dropped off. Let's.
All right. Well, Todd's going to try to get Travis back here. But yeah, what he was explaining actually happened on my son's hunt last year.
There we go. Hey,
Yeah, we're back. We're good. We're good.
okay, I could not find y'all.
No, you're good.
Where I left off at was I left off, with I'll just start over with the subject. With the hen, I mean, trying to get aggressive with the hen. If there's some gobblers out there and there's a yelping hen out there, you yelp back at her and trying to start an argument with her. Like, she gets aggressive and you get aggressive back with her, but don't overcall and you be the dominant hen. Let her be the dominant hen. Let her dominate you. And if I try to dominate her and then I shut up, she's over there still yelping. She's saying, hey, I'm talking to you.
Right.
And then you just staying quiet and she starts screaming, hey, I'm talking to you. Where you at? Where are you at? And then she's gonna come looking for you, and them gobblers are gonna follow that hen because I was arguing with that hen. And then another thing, with gobblers henned up. Look, if you know the property really well, or the landlines, or if you can try to get around them, I just try to get around them best I can.
Get in front.
So, but there's a lot of times too, I've called up hens silently and the gobblers follow right behind them too. So a lot of it ain't all just about calling, but the calling does help. It's just knowing your land, knowing where you at, where the turkey's at, and where they're going.
And a lot of people call it sportsmanship, Travis, and I've heard people refer to it as taking a turkey's temperature. You don't just sit there and just, run off them calls and everything else. You have to know when, like you're talking about with that hen, as she's talking back to you or the gobbler, kind of what, kind of the mood they're in, take their temperature, and it tells you really experienced guys, what to do past that, whether it's, to put out some more calling or to shut up or whatever else. It something I'm still learning myself. Those turkeys teach me a lesson about every time that I'm out there. Well, I like to get you guys on here again. And I mean, and that's what you and I got to be friends on Facebook through the Mossy Oak Pro staff. And then, you were in Nebraska last year, which really piqued my interest. I'd really like to go kill a Miriam's, and you had said you were on public land. So it, it just really piqued my interest. And that's what got us, having conversations back and forth, and finally got to meet in person down at the NWTF this year. But again, for me personally, learning from guys like yourself that, have been doing it for this long and everything else, you can keep yourself from making a whole lot of mistakes. And there's get a lot of experience from people like yourself for sure.
Let me ask you something, Travis, if I could, because I think
I'm on public land in Mississippi also, and that's some of probably they said the law. Do what now?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Travis. Can you hear me?
Can you hear us, Travis?
I hear you. What did you say?
No, I said go ahead. You said
I
something.
hear you.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because this is a problem everybody has as the year goes along. You got a gobbler hung up at 80 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
What's your go-to there?
Busting my head with some TSS. No, actually, it just depends on the area you hunt. You got thick woods and you got open woods and you got an open field and you got a tall grassy field. It depends on where you're set up at. If you're in an open field with no decoys out and you got turkeys out there about 80 yards, like you said, what I do, if just Lord willingly, if the turkey's not looking, if it looks like it's thick behind me, I'll put my hand on my mouth, but I have it in an angle where my hand is facing back behind my head where it echoes behind me. I'll do it just like this, and it echoes behind me like there's a turkey in the thick stuff behind me somewhere in there. So, and not facing towards the turkey, because that turkey knows they hear where they see. If you blow on a turkey call right there and there is no decoys and they see exactly that sound's coming from 80 yards, they know right then, right there, something's up. I mean, they're not dumb. If they don't see that turkey that making that noise, they're not going to come in. They're going to stay hung up, and they get nervous. They're going to walk off. Yeah. Now, in thick woods, if there's a turkey hung up about 80 yards, you can get away with a little bit doing some soft calling and do it just very little, like clucks and purrs and scratch a little bit. And then if he's looking, you see him coming, you just stop and just get ready and just let him look around. Because just do it soft enough, like you said, put your hand on your mouth like it's facing the other way and sound like the turkey is maybe 50 yards further back, even if it's downhill a little bit or just whatever. It makes it sound like it's a lot further.
Or maybe even give the impression that maybe it's walking away from him.
Say that one more time.
I said maybe give the impression that it's walking away from him.
Yes, that, or it just sounds like that. Yes, that worked, that too, or that turkey might be 50 yards further back. That is correct.
Okay.
Right. Well, let's talk. Let's get back to your hunting and what you plan. We talked a little bit about the U.S. Slam. As far as the turkeys are concerned, have you said you killed an Osceola. Do you have any of the turkey slams completed yet?
Yes, I've got my single season grand. I actually done a single season grand slam last year. Yes, I've completed.
That's awesome. Do you have any others? You can throw the Goulds in there and a few other things, the oscillated. Are you planning on getting any other slams this year?
That is one of my biggest goals, is actually getting the Goulds and oscillated turkey. That's actually not in my plans this year, but I am shooting for another single season grand slam. Yes, sir.
That's absolutely awesome. Well, I got to ask you, since we brought it up, you said your plan is to complete the U.S. Slam. We all know that's a marathon, for sure. To kill a bird in all 49 states, but you planning on notching any more of those off, and how many you got done?
I started the U.S. Slam last year. But I hunted other states throughout the years, but trying to complete multiple of them. I've harvested a turkey, Mississippi, Florida, Texas, Nebraska. I'm trying to think. New Mexico, and so that's three. That's 6 states I've killed turkeys in. So I got a ways to go. But I'm planning on hunting this year. Lord willing, I am going to South Dakota to add to my list for a slam, for the U.S. Slam, and I am going to Ohio and West Virginia. So that should add. I went to West Virginia last year. I was unsuccessful. I heard some birds. It was just late. It was last weekend season. These birds were hunted, so I just wasn't able to make it happen. And it was tough, and I didn't know the area that well. So I know the area now, so I got a plan for this year to get back at them. So that's pretty much it. But that's the only 3 states I know I've killed a bird in. And so I'm doing about 3 or 4 different states at a time, because it's impossible to hunt all 49 states in one year. I mean, this is a timing deal. You know, I work just like all y'all. I'm with Primos Hunting. I use paid time off. I mean, I save up all my PTO from year and to take off a whole month of work to be able to travel.
Yeah.
So to hunt to some of these states.
Well, just so you know, you got a couple of Missouri boys here, and I know you noticed you didn't list off Missouri yet as far as your state. So when you go to do that, make sure to give us a buzz, buddy, and we can try to help you out with that.
That will be awesome. I love Missouri. Missouri and Tennessee for sure is next on my list, and Kentucky, because that's what I was planning on doing next year for them 3 states: Missouri, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Because Tennessee it's beautiful country, but I've hunted. When I went up there to West Virginia, I didn't know what to expect. I knew there was going to be hills, but brother, when I say there's some hills up there, there's some hills.
Yeah.
And man, them birds are monsters. They big turkeys. And I know Missouri, ain't y'all's average size gobbler in Missouri about 23, 24 pounds?
Yeah, I would say.
Our average here in Mississippi is about 18 to 19 pounds. So that's our average.
We got big birds up here, buddy. That's for sure. And I mean, we're in some areas. We got some we got some good turkey numbers. So it's definitely. And hey, I got all them states you just named off, man. We got pro staffers in them states. I know them personally, and we can. I've been talking to them about doing some traveling and everything else. We ought to. We can get a few of these states knocked out. I've been wanting to get around to a few of them myself, so we'll have to stay in communication. Maybe we can get this done. So
I love, you may make a hunt. That's going to be in the book. That's going to be official. Hopefully maybe next year. I mean, like I said, if I'm coming to Missouri, I'm definitely going to give you a holler, and let's make a hunt together and add to the U.S. Slam, buddy. And heck, I mean, if I can do anything, try to pull y'all down here to Mississippi and kick y'all's turkey season off one year. I mean, kick it off a little bit early. Y'all come down here and come get y'all Mississippi bird.
Yeah. When's Mississippi season open again?
March 15th.
Oh, yeah, you're a month ahead of us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why I said I can't take it no more. I mean, as soon as season closed, I was already prepared and getting ready for next year. I stay prepared 365, and when I find the closest state that opens up the first state that opens, I'm there. So I'll be sure I'm there. And it actually, the first state that opens, a lot of people overlook that, but the first state that opens is Hawaii. I mean, I'm serious. It's Hawaii and then South Florida.
Really?
So,
and that's why we wanted to get you on here, is just because it's and we're all chomping at the bit up here. So, because like Todd said, we got a month, over a month after that starts, after you guys start, before we can actually get in the woods and start hunting. So
as we're recording this right now, it's snowing outside and it's about 18 degrees. So you know what we're at.
It's about 65 here.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh my goodness. Well,
it was chilly this morning now. I mean, I had chill bumps on me. I was cold. And when I walked outside, I was like, oh, good Lord, it is cold out here. And I didn't even think, because it was hot like yesterday evening. And then I walked back outside this morning. I'm like, wow, it's cold. But it warmed up pretty good today.
If there's not 4 inches of snow outside, then it ain't too cold.
Thank the good Lord. Because let me tell you something. We had last year. It was horrible. We were trapped inside of our homes for about 5 days. I was trapped in my home for 5 days. I could not get out. And that big weather change right there, it affected our turkey season, because our turkeys didn't start gobbling or anything until maybe almost the 1st of April.
Really?
Wow.
it pushed our season behind.
Well, I can remember, what was it, 3 years ago when we were out opening
Y'all
morning.
Hey, y'all.
Yep. It was spitting snow. Remember that morning?
Yep. Yeah. It's there. There's been several times, and I've even, I've hunt Illinois, Indiana, and I mean, it's been the, middle part of April, end of April, it can be 25 degrees in the morning. I mean, and get to 65, 70 in the afternoons.
Yeah.
I mean, there can be a 40-degree temperature swing, but look, man, Travis, I know, buddy, you've had a long day, man. You've been working all day. We're going to let you get, but what I'd like to do is where can people find you?
Hey, you ain't know.
Well, I just, where can people find you, man, on any of your social medias and kind of track your journey? Cause again, anybody tracking this or trying to get a US slam done or anything else, I mean, it is a feat to be recognized for sure. It's not easy to do. So man, where can people find you and check what you're doing and check your progress?
Y'all can be sure to y'all can follow me on my Facebook or send me a friend request, but my friend request is starting to get pretty high because I've got, oh my gosh, about over 100 something friend requests, and I'm almost at my 5,000 limit, but there is a follow button. Y'all more welcome to push the follow button. My name is Travis Hamm. Y'all just follow me on Facebook, and I also have an Instagram, NWTF _caller 2012. And then I also do fun TikTok videos of nothing but turkey hunting. And y'all be sure, I mean, if y'all want to see some awesome turkey hunting stuff, I mean, it ain't really no dead turkeys because they'll ban you if you have dead birds on there. I've already been warned a couple times. And y'all can follow me with NWTF _2012 from there also. And I also got a YouTube page up. It ain't, I got it up. I ain't got no videos uploaded on it yet, but it's called Turkey Calling Chronicles. How to improve. It's pretty much based on how to improve your turkey calling, but there also will be hunting videos on there. And I am on a couple episodes, well, one episode, maybe another, I'm not sure, with Real South Hunting when I was in New Mexico turkey hunting. I'll be behind the camera or on the camera with Real South Hunting on there. Y'all be sure to follow Real South Hunting on their Facebook and YouTube, and you can probably catch me in one of their videos doing some turkey hunts with them.
Yeah, you guys really check Travis out because again, and that's another reason why we wanted to get him on here. And I know I just saw today that the NWTF said that they are going to post the Grand National Calling Competition on their YouTube page as well. So you can check Travis out and his calling because this guy's just absolutely amazing caller, and he's a turkey killer at that. So which is what we're all chomping at the bit to get to. So buddy, unless you got anything else, man, we're going to let you get home. I know you've had a long day, and we are definitely going to stay in contact with you, track your journey, especially you're starting off here real soon, buddy. So we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us for sure.
Hey, thank you, Travis.
Man, that ain't no problem. I enjoyed every bit of it, dude. I enjoyed it. And I will say, no matter what, it don't matter if I kill or don't kill a turkey, I always give God the praise because, without him, he's the reason why we have these creatures down on this earth to be able to hunt.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Amen, brother. That's for sure. That is for sure.
Good luck to you this year, Travis. And we certainly appreciate you being here and taking time for us. You're up in Missouri, look up Nathan and we'll catch up and put you on a 28-pound gobbler. How's that? Oh, can you hear us?
Hey, ain't no problem.
All right.
Thanks, Travis. Appreciate you, buddy.
Sounds like a good deal with me, man. I hope y'all have y'all kind of cutting out, but I hope y'all have a wonderful night. And I'll be back in contact with you guys, and y'all all be sure to follow me because I'll leave out next Thursday to kick off turkey season. So everybody, you guys, y'all have a good.
There we go.
Thanks, Travis. See you, buddy.